Well, welcome in. We are going to talk to Clinton Parker today. He was once an insurance adjuster and he wants to show you or talk to you about the best way he got started. So, what I want to hear from you is the questions that you have. Again, my name is Abahi. If I can help you make money in this very lucrative industry, would you let me? I'm going to send him a quick reminder that we are live so that he can come on and join us. But go ahead, let us know where you're coming in from too. City, state. And then we'll get rolling. I can't see your comments if you're on YouTube. So if you're on Facebook, you got to go to YouTube. So we got Vernon Giles from Katy, Texas. Vernon, let also too, y'all, let me know if y'all have worked as an adjuster or you have some experience in claims. Let me know what your biggest woes are. That's what we're doing today. We're doing a Q&A, trying to figure out a way to help you all get started. We've seen the Facebook comments that there's just no work. If you were like me when I first got started, I thought all I needed was a license and that the next day I was going to have a job offer after job offer after job offer. That did happen. Then when I finally got into, okay, after you get your license, you actually need more certifications to work with certain companies. So if you don't have those, your license is no good. Also ran into the problem that you got to have experience to get the positions, but I didn't have experience. In fact, most of you that I talk to don't even really know what a claims adjuster does. So researching is hard to do because no one talks about a claims adjuster. Who knew the position even existed? But they've been around since the railroads first started. Colonel Sanders was an attorney against the claims adjusters and the insurance companies. So we've been around for a really, really long time. The other thing that I hear a lot of people have, okay, we have a couple people in from Texas, Waco, Katy. The other thing is there's a lot of misinformation about which licenses to get. Okay, I don't live in Texas or Florida, but I'm going to get a Texas and Florida license. If you all look at the number of storms that have hit Florida and Texas since 2021, it's been very few. In fact, there's really hasn't been a major hurricane. There's been some hurricanes, of course, and some damage on the coastline. But when you get further in, there's not as much damage as most people have seen in the past. We got Sherman and Sarah Stewart in Texas as well. Anyone outside of Texas? So theft claims, that's a good one. Theft claims is really, really interesting because I've handled a couple of them, and most people don't know what to look for when it comes to theft claims. So Clinton will be joining us in a second, but I want you guys to put in your questions about what you're looking for and how has the journey been for you so far. Again, when I first was getting started, we would travel. We would go to the coastline. We may go to Alabama to try to do some desk work. And we would get there, be ready to go. The offers of $33+ an hour, 35, 36, all for it to be taken away within the day, within the week. On average, most people don't realize that your deployments are only going to last even only a few weeks, 6 weeks on average. So even when you get going pretty good, you have to come back and then kind of get that momentum going again. So let me call Clinton, make sure he's got everything going. because most people haven't used StreamYard, so we're trying to get him in there. Let's see, been in the game 8 years now, looking for work. Okay, Devon, great. And then we got Joe Wilson in Atlanta, Georgia, where it is. That's where I am, down here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm happy to be able to take any questions that you guys have about ideas, tactics. I would love to hear from Vernon too, who says that a lot of his experiences in theft claims and water mitigation. When we're trying to find a job in claims adjusting didn't work for me, I had to seek out other ways to get my foot in the door of experience. And that came by going through other trades. I didn't even know what a water mitigation company was, what they did. I didn't find out about that until boy, I guess until I actually became an adjuster or started working claims, even maybe as a public adjuster. That's when I found out about WaterMit, Serve Pros, the Roto-Rooters, those bigger national companies. Those are what you're thinking of when you think of water mitigation companies. I saw the trucks, never knew what they would do. I just thought they were some type of plumbers, or when there's a fire, they would go out and they would help clean up. That's it. I never knew that I never knew water damage could be as bad as I've seen in some people's homes. Some homes have bad pipes. They have toilet overflows, tubs overflow, all types of things. So what questions would you guys have about, getting started? What ideas do you have, Devon? You said you've been in the game for 8 years. Joe Wilson said he's been in there for 17 years as an auto adjuster. Current with the CEs, but planning on Xactimate classes in the summer, which is fine. There are, you can find Xactimate on Fiverr. So Xactimate is a necessary skill to have. But I think there's more important skills than Xactimate, because like I said, you can get Xactimate and estimates written on Fiverr. So I've used it because it's easier. And when you're working a lot, you need extra help. You need extra hands. There's actually for those of you who are married, have spouses, there's actually a great opportunity for you to have one person in the field and then one person at home writing the estimates. Because when you're driving, that's time away from your screen time. They call it windshield time, road time. So when you're on the road, you're not having that opportunity. I've hired drivers before so that I could write my estimates as I go. But it's still a challenge to do everything, because now I'm paying the driver, so where's my profit margin going? To my driver. So I want to be able to have a good amount of income. So it's easy when you can have your pictures in and you can send them over to someone else. So let's see, Alyssa, she's been in there 5 years as an IA. What did you do for the first 2 years? Devon, been thinking about seeing how to get on the workers' comp side. So here's the thing. I'm going to share my screen, because workers' comp is another type of adjusting that gets seriously overlooked. I mean, incredibly overlooked. So what I like to do is, when I'm helping people with their resumes, I'm going in and I'm looking at a job site like LinkedIn or Indeed. Let's go to let's go to Google first. I'm gonna share my screen. Let's see. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen here. All right. So when I'm looking, I'm going to just type in workers' compensation adjusters. Now, don't be afraid to look outside of the property and casualty, so you can actually have some experience. Now, for the most part, I think a lot of people will work for some type of law firm or attorney. But you can see here, there's on ZipRecruiter. You guys see this down here, ZipRecruiter. Boom, right here. Let me move this out the way. Okay. So you can go in, look, see that Gallagher has a senior compensation workers comp. Is $62,000 to $99,000 a good salary? That's the question. You can see the average over here on the right is $60,000 per year. Now that they're saying the national average. But if you actually look on the BLS site, this one is for plumbers. Plumbers make about 60,000. For adjusters, the median is $72,000 a year. Hold on, you guys can't see that. $72,000 per year, or about $34 per hour. Now, remember, I told you when I was starting, it was about $36 an hour. So is it decreasing or declining? But this $72,000 per year is increasing. Last year it was about 68. So it's increased about $4,000, which is less than $500 a month, right? That's for your salary mindset of, okay, is it a good salary for the position I'm getting? Now, if you don't have any experience, do you have clout to be able to say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, or this is what I want, and this is what I deserve? What do you have to be able to negotiate? We have auto adjusters. Okay, everybody knows auto adjusters are at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to salary, 46 to 60,000. For me, I graduated from college in 2010. I was making 50,000, so I'm not really trying to go back to this amount, right? Here we go, another workers' comp position, about 84,000. We're not hitting anywhere over $100,000 just yet on these workers' comps. Now, you can find workers' comps though in the variety of fields. Here's a good one. Now, let's take a look at this one, but this is not workers' comp, this is bodily injury. What's the difference between workers' comp and bodily injury? Well, if you're an adjuster with a license, you know exactly where to go find that answer. So this position, let's see, just posted less than a week ago, but not a lot of other information about it. The skills: identify financial risk points, detail handling of the claim process, relationships with brokers. And this is talking about local line of business insurance market. So I'm wondering if I don't know what type of relationships they're looking for. And you have to be on site in Alpharetta, Georgia, which you can't pay me to go on site. It's just not an option. This one's remote, but they don't put how much is out there. You have workers comp paralegals. Again, I told you may be working for a legal firm. Okay, so that's for Devon. He said he's been thinking about getting into the workers' comp side. Let's see what Alyssa says. Let's see. I feel the recession is our biggest downfall right now. I'm usually on deployment by this time, and every contract I've been offered has fallen through either due to reallocation of funds or just not enough. It's true. The economy has changed, but also there's just been no storms. What can you do when there's no storms? That's the tough part about working as an independent. Also, too, or they stopped doing. If you look on LinkedIn, there's cases against insurance companies and TPA firms when they were offering adjusters day rates. You would get $600 a day, but people felt like they weren't getting paid for overtime. Well, if you look at it, the $600 a day was actually a little bit better, because don't forget, you may not work either. You might do an hours of work a day and still get the $600. But people complained, and so then they went to the hourly. And if you're doing 10 hours a day at $35 an hour, now you're at $350 versus the $600 a day. You see, so it's like people ruined it for us. So let's see, Fiverr. This is my first time hearing this. How does it work? I was told small IAs and carries one Xactimate experience. I mean, they'll teach it to you too. You know, like there's college students that Travelers love college students. Travelers has one of the hardest personality tests to pass, but they will hire college students without them knowing Xactimate. Then I meet them in the field, and they are great with Xactimate. They have their measurer, it tags into Xactimate, but the skill that is needed more than Xactimate, they don't have. See, anybody can do Xactimate. It's almost like anybody can prescribe a pill, right? Like you can say, okay, well, here's this pill, take it, boom. But you can't diagnose a patient without the right experience. So, you know, everybody, oh, you're sick, take this pill, take this pill, take this pill. But I don't know what type of sick you are. I'm just going based on your symptoms. So there's definitely having the Xactimate skill that you need. Then there's skills that you need even more than Xactimate. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it's not the top level skill, but everybody concentrates on that. So let's see, Alyssa worked for State Farm as an auto adjuster and currently a commercial general lines accounts. That's how I got started in the $80,000 to $100,000 pay range. Oh, Xactimate certifications are great. But a lot of adjusters don't have them. Because again, it's just a part of what you should know. But if you don't know the other skills, scoping, construction, if you don't know that, Xactimate is useless. So why even, a lot of people do go, let me get the level 1, level 2, level 3. That's great. But again, I could go to Fiverr and get somebody to write my estimates for me. It saves me time, really, which is what I like. I would love, and Clinton Parker, I guess I don't know, maybe something happened, but hopefully he's okay. But one of the big things about us is that, number one, we're not dependent on storms, okay? He works here with me in Georgia. We're both public adjusters, so we don't have to wait on storms. That's the biggest thing that's in sliced bread. Second thing is, I just can't do the 9 to 5, the 10 to 10, the 7 to 7. That's just not me. I'm a millennial. I like to nap during the day. I like to vacation for as long as I want to. And the IA side just doesn't allow you to do that. It's okay though. We still need the IAs, right? We talk to them every single day. But what I realized people don't have is those skills that are needed to keep you in a high position with whatever you're doing. Okay, like how come you don't know how to scope? Why don't you know construction or the difference between this type of flooring or what a water sump pump is versus a water heater? And that's troubling for a lot of people, and they're not sure and understand like what type of experience they should have. So Clinton also runs a mitigation company. There's lots of mitigation companies out there that have come to me and say, Abahi, we want people, send us people. So if you're local, like Atlanta, Metro, Georgia area, you guys, let's get together so I can introduce you to people who want you to work with them. You saw somebody said that was Vernon. He said that's how he got into it, or that's what he's doing, water mitigation. You can learn how to understand materials, how to measure, how to use tools through other sources of getting into the industry. Because sometimes you can't go in the front door, you got to go through the back window, right? And when you're looking at water mitigation companies, because they stay in such a high level, because again, they are not also dependent on storms. Thanksgiving is a big time for them because plumbing systems are faulty. Last year, Christmas, that freeze caused major issues. They were 80 claims deep within the day. Couldn't find a plumber, couldn't find a water mitigation company. Small businesses, they don't have a good plan of action when it comes to these type of emergencies. So our goal to you guys today is to hear your issues and then try to figure out a way to resolve those issues so that you're working and that I'm helping these water mitigation companies who are looking for people like you who want to be in the industry but are unable to find each other. Because, going through like a Zip Recruiter, you're just going to be one of many, many, many applicants. Like there'll be hundreds of applicants for every one of these jobs. Everybody's just, click and apply, click and apply. And you never get to the decision maker. And also too, as a unit, everybody has to be a little bit more flexible when it comes to, all right, well, I don't know anything. So maybe I can just actually work as an apprentice before I demand a salary. Maybe I can work with you a few hours a week versus going in strong and saying, I need $100,000 from you, even though you're going to be slowed down to help me learn, right? When you start a job and you have no experience, not only do you want to get trained, you want to get paid, and that slows a company down. So you can't have the best of both worlds to where you're getting the top salary and I'm slowing down to train you. Where's my benefit? It's going to take me a long time to make a return on you. So be willing to step out of the box and say and admit that, you know what? I need this company more than they need me. Because they've been running their business for 10, 15, 22 years and never even heard of you. You just brand new. You may have been licensed 7 years, 2 months, 1 day. And you need the experience. You need the field experience. You need to get hands-on. You need the credentials. So step outside the box and say, listen, man, I just want to come and work a couple of these jobs with you. I'll get dirty. I'll get down and dirty. And then look, maybe I even buy you lunch because you're taking the time to train me. Or what other people are doing is they're paying $500, $1,500 to go out to these fake classes with these fake rules and classroom instruction to end up with no job at the end. But if you come through these water mitigation companies and they see that you're a hard worker, that you're willing to do the work without them even paying you initially, when they need somebody to start paying, guess who they're going to come through first? They're going to come right to you and say, hey, you know what? Hey, can you come help out? I need a manager over here. I need this, I need that. And they're making mad money, water mitigation companies. Okay, like and when I took my water mitigation class, they were trying to get me to start my own water mit business. And I'm like, man, no, I like my PA work. I'm not a super business person. But there's a lot of IAs. I talked to a guy named Ivan last week. A lot of IAs transferring over to that. So let's see. I've been doing some research. I worked at IAG and made 43 because I was new. I'm thinking to go back to school to become an actuary. Okay, cool. Question, since you have switched over, what is the pay difference since you don't get paid until the settlement of a claim? Great question. The pay difference, for me, here's the big thing. Number one, I never have to wait on the storm. Okay, so when people say, okay, you have to wait on the settlement, y'all all have to wait on the storm. Storms happen between hurricane season is between August and November. So if I'm just waiting on the storm, I'm just looking at the clock praying like, come on, storms, come on, storms, come on, storms. That was the biggest thing for me, was that it was not consistent enough to be full time. Yeah, I would go to work and yeah, you may make like 10 grand in a month, but then that's just for 2 months. Then you go 18 months without any additional work. Even people who are great at finding jobs, even right now, they're having a hard time finding work. So when you look at the year over year comparison, like $30,000 working 3 months or $130,000 working when I want to for 12 months, I'm going to take the 12 months. All right. So the pay difference to me is not a big deal because number one, I'm super patient. My money just comes in and I just don't think about it. It comes in when I'm asleep, comes in when I'm on vacation. It comes when I'm in Nigeria, it comes in. So I really don't worry about it. Yeah, in the beginning, just on both sides, in the beginning, you're going to have no payments come in. You're going to, it's like college. It's like you're learning a new trade. So yeah, you're going to have those difficulties in the beginning. But once it starts flowing, unlike the IA world, it just does not stop flowing. So that's how I look at it. So Lawrenceville, Georgia, that's great. The mitigation companies that I have here are in Norcross, Gwinnett, Fayetteville, East Point. What are some abatement companies in ATL? There was a client that I had that needed abatement, but I can't think of the name. I don't think, maybe Azalea. Let's see, I'm 26. I want to be a PA because of the flexibility, just scared of losing the security of deployments or 9 to 5. I just don't understand how deployments are secure. You have to wait on the storm to get it. For me as a PA, like I know, I mean, I know I'm going to write several claims a month. So I just don't see it. For me, when my last deployment, I think no, it wasn't even my last deployment. It was like my second to last deployment where I was like in New York and I was just sitting there like, man, this is like it's ending. Like I just got here. Like it's already over. I just got here. So I'm just not like, and you don't know when it's going to end. You don't know when they're going to run out of claims. So you may be trying to set up a lease or you might be trying to figure out switching your gym membership, trying to find a healthcare provider. I don't know, what you have going on. You got maybe kids that you got to, herd and do stuff with, right? And then as soon as you get like comfortable, it's like, oh, deployment's over. Pack up, go home. So I don't know about the security there. I have my license and I have been trying to get locked in. Okay, keep going. I'm in Union City. Let me know who to contact. Yeah, the great place to contact. That's a really good question. That's the tough part. How do we do the contact? Because I know if you guys email me, it's gonna be tough for me to get out to everybody. Let me see. I guess what we could do is I'm gonna put, I don't know if this will come up, but you guys can text this number. Okay, you guys can send a text to that number. Let them, just put in there that you're interested in apprenticeships with water mitigation companies. And then we'll put you in touch and see who has what available. What if your experience is in desk adjusting and not field? How does that affect assignments? I don't know. I've never been a desk type of person. Like I like to mix things up. So it's never been a real desk person for me, but every company has their different needs. In some cases, you're both the desk and the field adjuster. In some cases, you're only one or the other, and the desk adjuster may be a claim reviewer or they may be a claim assessor. You might just practice the contents adjusting. The additional living, like with Liberty Mutual, drives me crazy because they have like 8 adjusters for one claim, and it just drives me nuts because it's like, well, who's responsible for this? Oh no, that's not me, that's somebody else, and everybody's always on vacation or out the office. It's annoying. But with auto owners, okay, the one adjuster does everything. That's also annoying because they're slow. Auto owners, super slow. Can't stand them either. So, but yeah, you guys text this number. Let them know that, hey, you want to work with, you want to get down with some water mitigation companies if you're in the area. If you're not in the area, you also could still text and we can set up appointments so you can actually shadow or do some ride-alongs with like Clint, Parker, or some of the other water mitigation companies that I know. So it's not, if you're local, you're going to have a bigger opportunity, more opportunities, but we can set something up so that those of you who are coming from out of state can come on in state and you guys can see what's going on, see what's happening, get your feet wet, understand what scoping is, understand, how to measure a room that's not a square, because some rooms have curves in them. How do you put that? How do you put that on Xactimate with your drawings? We do have Xactimate training too, but that's all virtual. It's the best place to be. So if you've never used Xactimate, never drawn it up, again, it is definitely a necessary skill to have, but you need things to go along with it to be able to use it. And I have a lot of trainers who are like, yeah, if you need me, I'll definitely help train for Xactimate. Some of them are level 3 Xactimate certified. And some of them know Xactimate like the back of their hand. I'm like, hey, how do I draw a curved staircase? And they'll be able to point me through while they're picking up groceries. Okay, so they're really good. You do not necessarily need a certified trainer to get down with Xactimate. You just need to be able to know the basics of it, and you need to know the skills that go along with that. Okay, so listen, guys, we've been going for half an hour. That's all the time I actually have for the night. I was hoping Clinton would join us, but it still turned out to be a super dope call. I showed you guys a couple of jobs that are out there that are not just property and casualty jobs. ZipRecruiter is not the only place to go. You can also look directly on the company websites. Let me show you guys one last thing too before I go on just, how I search for jobs when it's not through the ZipRecruiter, because everybody is using the Zips, everybody is using the Indeeds, and unfortunately, they make it so easy to apply. As an employer, it's actually damaging, because it's like, why are they applying to this job when they're really looking for retail work? So it's not that great of a system on the employer side. So let me show you. So this is a 50 state guide that we created because so many people wanted help with the licensing process. So what we did was we put every state together on the licensing process, and each of these actually has companies that you can look and see, okay, well, which states or which companies hire in that state, right? So that was the first edition. Then more people had questions. You can see every state is listed here. My favorite state, even though I'm not even from Georgia. Well, I wasn't born in Georgia, but also too, Georgia is reciprocal with just as many states as Texas and Florida. There's only one single state that's not included. I believe that's it's one of it's not Idaho, because that's only here. It's either Idaho. It says Oregon is here too, but it's one of those northwestern states out there that just the one is so irrelevant. I can't even think of it. But anyway, let me go to what you can do though when I go in and look for jobs. So section 1 is for those who need to be able to get licensed. But section 2, what we did was we went and we did a 25 companies for each letter of the alphabet, and then 25 companies for each state. So companies hiring in Alabama. So let's take a company. Let me see if you guys see a company. Pick one that you haven't heard of. Let me go to Texas real quick, because we actually have so many people from Texas. I want you, when I go to Texas, I want you to pick a company that you haven't heard of. And then let me show you how I look for jobs there. All right, so pick one. Now, the crazy thing is that just because you're seeing the Texas states, did you see when we went on ZipRecruiter that there was companies hiring in Georgia, but you have to have a Florida license? So don't just think that, okay, I'm only going to apply for claims or jobs in Texas, because Tennessee might have some good options for you that we just didn't list in the Texas side. We're only talking about 25 companies here, right? There's over 200 in the state. So we're going to look up this one, this Tokyo Marine, US based. See, they're also in Alpharetta, Georgia. So again, that book is not just for, you don't just look at it, take it for the state. I would go through each and every single one of those companies. There's over 2,000 companies listed. So we'll click on them and you go to careers. Sometimes the careers will be at the bottom. Oh, let me move this out the way. Okay, careers. I'll put the link. Let me see how you guys can get to that list. Great question. Where do you get these from? I'm going to put that into the chat and maybe it'll be up on the replay. So our system is undergoing some maintenance right now until tomorrow. So I guess we can't look them up just yet. Should we pull up another one? Let's go back to the states here. So again, this green section is if you don't have a license, although like here in South Carolina, for each states, we actually also added companies that might be hiring in those states too. Insurance companies to apply to. But let's go down. Let's go over to the T category. We did, was I even in Texas? I don't even think I was in Texas. I think I just went to T. Let me back up a little bit. Yeah, I don't see. So yeah, you can search the T's, the W's, the Q's. Look, we even have the Q's up here. Not the fraternity, but look, 25 companies, insurance companies that just start with the letter Q. All right, so pick one. Which one should we search? Let me go back to the T. Sorry, I'm moving around so much. Let me go back to Texas. I'll stay right here so you guys can let me know. But pick a company we haven't heard of. Okay, CNA Financial. CNA Financial. Okay, again, see careers is up here at the top. Sometimes you have to go to the bottom to find it. Just letting you all know that sometimes it's not always as obvious to where to go. Sometimes you have to go under the about page. So you search jobs. Now remember, we talked about Texas. Someone talked about being an underwriter. But I like to just search for, oh, let me reshare my screen because you guys can't see that. Right here. Okay, so I like to see, I just typed into the search box. I just typed in claims. Then we're going to hit search. Okay, we talked about workers' comp earlier. This is for an attorney, counsel, complex claims specialist, more complex claims, senior claims client, claims consultant, claims specialist for general liability. All of these are posted very recently. You see some of them are in Chicago or, outside of Texas. Claims adjuster for Canada. And claims trainee. This one looks like it's somewhere else though, because they got that other language next to it. This one is in Maryland. We have field commercial property claims adjuster specialist. This one is in Georgia. See, that's why you want the whole book, because this one actually popped up in Georgia has one. This is posted less than 27 days ago. The better part about this over Indeed is that this is on their site. This may not even be on Indeed or ZipRecruiter. And then there's multiple locations. Like this workers' comp claim has 5 locations: Plano, Texas, Cali, Illinois, Tennessee, Oregon. Let's see if they tell us what the pay range is. It doesn't. That's okay though. You can always look that up on like Glassdoor. But the job description, okay, you're going to manage an inventory of high complex claims. Let's see if it says skills and abilities. And of course, you're not going to need Xactimate for this, but they want you to know about commercial insurance. You'll need to learn how to read commercial policies, which when I was trying to become an adjuster and get my foot in the door as the public adjuster, it was like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll teach you that. And I was like, oh, okay, great. I'll come in and learn it with you guys, and then I'll, jump ship. But I ended up staying because, it was such a lucrative position. Let's see if we can go back. Just trying to do go back to that one that was in Georgia. And let's see. Okay, let's do this claims trainee one. So, okay, it's in French. Okay, so this is all Canada. But so if you don't know French, which I don't, I took it in college, but I have no idea what any of that is saying. This one also workers' comp representative, but now they have New York listed. So they need a lot of help with workers' comp claims. Maybe that's their specialty. So that's how I use that book in order to be able to say, okay, there's jobs elsewhere. Here's one for cybersecurity, technology, and media. Because people are getting their accounts hacked through Target, and Georgia, Fulton County was hacked not too long ago. A few levels of experience here includes your bachelor's degree, 4 years of experience. But it says a typical is typically, so it's not mandatory, typically. So you got to read between the lines. And it also says, of relevant claims experience. Well, what's relevant? Okay, well, they're saying preferably in claims or a law firm, but maybe you have other experience. Maybe you're a cybersecurity specialist. I don't know. Maybe is that relevant or not, right? So lots of things. Must be able to get your license within 90 days. Some professional designations are a plus, but not required. Okay, so let's see. I'm in New Orleans, recently licensed. The license, of course, is not enough. And you signed up for Xactimate and State Farm auto certifications. Good job, Dion. So I hope this was helpful. For those of you who are looking to get that book, so you can see the number of employers that are out there. All you have to do is just click on, get that link. I'm leaving it up there for you so you can just see that link is available for you. This is how to become a claims adjuster. This is built over about a 4-year period, this book, on just the trials and tribulations from what I saw and the questions that people asked over and over and over. If you're looking to get your California license, and most people don't have that, there's the solutions of what you need to do are there. And if you're looking to get hired out in California, you just come down to this yellow section, and then you look at all of the jobs that are available in California. So that's available to you guys. I appreciate that you guys were able to come on. And we'll try to get some of these mitigation companies on, and you all connected to these MIT companies so that you guys have an opportunity to actually work in the industry. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Again, if I can help you make money in this very lucrative industry, would you let me? See you next time.